What's up, everybody? Welcome to the CanesInSight pregame podcast live from the Lickin' in Miami Gardens. This is hour 2. We're keeping this thing rolling. It is a packed house in there, so we're doing this from the VIP. But man, the main room is locked and loaded. I don't know if there's any tables left, man. The bar is packed. You got the Notre Dame game from 2017 on. They're playing old school R&B. So if you want to hear some Keith Sweat while you're eating some delicious food, and then watching the Notre Dame game, this is the place, man, right across the street from the stadium. So you want to tailgate, or at least start your tailgate with some high-level food, high-level ambiance, air conditioning. You know where to go.
The AC is nice.
Licking. Oh, yeah, AC's pumping, and we're having a great time, man. This is great. This is a high-end deal with the TVs, with the service. I'm just kind of waiting for my food, so I'm a little antsy. I might take a 5-minute break from the podcast. I'll just be on mute, just munching.
What did you get today? You get the veggie rice today? There was a lot of talk about. I should have told you. There was a lot of talk yesterday when we were in here about the veggie rice.
I got the collard greens and I got the fried broccoli, at least to start. You know, trying to keep it green today. So we'll see, man. We'll see how that is. Maybe I'll add some veggie rice to it. We're on it for a while, man. We're 147. We'll be rolling at least till 5 out here at the Lickin'. It's meeting people, getting ready for the game. So again, appreciate everybody joining us on game day. So let's just get into this. Let's get into the Notre Dame game in particular. We talked a lot about college football in general. We still will on the first hour, but matchup-wise, Pete, what matchup are you watching particularly closely with this Miami Notre Dame game that you're saying, all right, how this goes might determine how the game goes?
It might sound cliche, as we've talked a lot about CJ Carr and his first start and the lack of experience, but the matchup I'm looking at is Miami's receivers against the secondary of Notre Dame, because, look, I feel confident in Carson Beck. We know he's healthy from what we've seen at practice and from what everyone who has been around him has said. It just comes down to those weapons, right? You have some experience in a CJ Daniels, a Keelan Marion, but you're really looking at a group altogether that very important pieces haven't played a lot of football at this level. So the test is a big one right off the bat against Notre Dame. This is you're not easing into it. You saw Florida last night playing Long Island University. That's not what this is, right? So those young guys at wide receiver, Malachi Tonys of the world, JoJo Traders, Josh Moore, are they going to be ready to step up and take care of this moment when it needs to be done?
Yeah, man. And by the way, look at this. We got Derek Hucks just showed up to the Lickin', about to crush some wings. Shout me down when I get out there after the show. Love to introduce myself. Johnny Lagoon, I know he's out here with his family enjoying some of this food. So, yeah, with that Notre Dame secondary against Miami's receivers, you're talking about a strength of Notre Dame with their secondary, Leonard Moore, All-America. They feel very good about their group overall, versus a perceived weakness of Miami, because you're saying young players that have not played.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, here we go,
D.
Eileen, Rhode Island's finest. Let's see what we got here.
Oh, perfect. There we go. She's on the stream with us here.
Ooh. Thank you.
Some ranch to go with it.
Thank you.
And some rice and peas.
Thank you. And say hi to the people. Introduce yourself.
Hey, Taylor, coming all the way from Rhode Island to Miami, the Lickin' Miami Gardens.
Let's go. Thank you very much. Thank you,
Tayleen.
Thank you.
All right, so I might be out of commission here for a minute.
So yeah, D, I gotta tell you what happened to me yesterday. I was here, and this was a very what is it? It's not millennials. Is it Gen Z? Is that what it is now? Gen Z is like the streamer, kind of era. It was a very Gen Z stream yesterday with Brian McKinney and I. We were here. It wasn't like our more structured streams.
Right.
We try to have these topics. We were hanging out here, sitting back, and oh, look at this.
Yeah, we're in business out here.
Got the lamb chops. Thank you.
I like the little flower for decoration right there. Look at that.
That's I wouldn't call that flower. That's what is that? Rosemary, maybe?
A rosemary, there's a flower right there.
Whoa! I didn't even see that. Wow,
that.
It was. You know what? Wow, I was so in awe of the beauty here. Look at these chops right here. Oh my God, I can't wait. I cannot wait to get into it.
Let's get a couple of bottles of water.
Yeah,
please.
Water, please.
Thank you, Taylene.
I'm gonna dive right into it here.
Yeah, man. So
wow, that's ridiculous. That's so tender. You see
appreciate
that? I
you,
bit
Bucks
right
fan.
into it.
Yeah, man. So before we just eat this whole show, we got to talk some football. But yeah, look, those receivers are the perceived weakness because they haven't played a lot. So Notre Dame's against a strength against our weakness. Are we going to be able to get open and make plays? I think Malachi Tony's going to do it. My confidence in him is of the utmost. CJ Daniels, a veteran. I think he's someone that Beck's going to be looking for, that he could trust in these big game moments. This is someone who's played in a lot of big games at LSU last year, star player for Liberty before that. He's going to be able to, I think, make contested catches and help Beck in that way, on top of just being an experienced player. JoJo Trader, big playability. I would not sleep on what he can do. And Keelan Marion is someone I think that – Thank you so much. I think he's somebody that we talk about as returning. Keelan Marion is going to help this passing game tonight. So we'll see. That's a perceived weakness for Miami against a strength for Notre Dame, but that might not be the case when the game starts. I'm going the other way, which is a perceived weakness of Notre Dame against the strength of Miami. Our offensive line against their defensive line. They're worried about their defensive line. I know they feel good about their defense overall. They were good last year, obviously. But they're worried about their defensive line. They know that's not their strongest unit from an NFL standpoint, from a body type standpoint. They got some small guys there. They have experience, but not like NFL studs on the defensive line other than Bryant Young, the big true sophomore, highly rated player. So we know it's a strength for Miami. So can Miami overpower that defensive front and run the ball and control the pace, just like LSU did against Clemson, just like FSU did against Alabama, just like pretty much any team that won did against their opponents? Can you control the running game offensively and do your thing and really impose your will? I think Miami has a chance to do that. Notre Dame obviously had a great defense last year, but I think our front against their front is it's weird saying this as a Miami fan after all these years, but we're just a physically superior unit up front in terms of size, NFL ability, athleticism, plus they're all experienced. I think that is a matchup that Miami can exploit. I think Notre Dame's worried about that matchup, and they may try to overcompensate and bring guys in the box to protect those defensive linemen, allowing Beck to then do what he can in the passing game for the matchup you talked about against their secondary.
Derek Huck says, just met E-Class. I can go home now. Shout out to E-Class and the whole team at the Licking here. Canes Cats Heat 305 saying hour 2, let's go. I feel, I got to say, D, I don't know if it's just here with our people, man. It's been a great turnout here at the Licking, but I feel pretty calm right now. I really do. And that's not just me. That's not like a fake feeling. I just think I feel calm. What that means for the outcome of the game, I don't know.
I think that's the Tony and the Jodeci and all the music that's playing outside.
Yeah.
So that's how they do. They put the R&B, kind of ease you into it. I mean, really, the vibes are impeccable. I'm a big Hooters guy, and this is to me is escalated over Hooters. But they play the old school R&B, so you're calm, you're eating, you're talking. And then around 5, I think it starts, when we get off air, I think it starts to turn up a little bit. They got the DJ coming in.
Yeah.
And then very important, after the game, it's right next to the stadium.
You have the
Let me get the sign.
He's got to grab this sign real quick. Hold on. I'm going to have another bite of my lamb chop while he does that.
So after the game, right here, pick it up, DoorDash, Uber Eats, whatever you got, order from the Licking Miami Gardens. And as you're leaving the game and you get out from all that traffic right here, 5 minutes away, you can scoop up you're going to be starving. You're going to want chicken. You're going to want, some salty, good food. Order from the Licking, DoorDash, Uber Eats, you name it. Pick up after the game. Even if you're not coming in before the game, after the game, it's going to be open. They're going to be built for this thing, built for feeding Canes fans leaving the game. That's what they're planning for. So you want a convenient, easy to find, hearty spot right after the game. The Licking, pickup, DoorDash, you name it. Plus, I think they're still open. So if you want to just come in and vibe, I think the DJ will be rolling at that time, celebrating.
It's sounding like things are picking up in a big way out there. Derek, who's here, says, "Bro, it's Miami'd out in here." So yeah, man. When we came back into the recording room here, as we'll call it, it was getting pretty loud out there, D. So I'll let you eat a little bit here, D, as I'll take some. I'll take some comments and I'll talk to people on here. Yeah, it's very tough to resist. Steven Smith saying 31-14, go Canes. I know Mike had 38-20 or 38-21, which was probably the biggest spread of any of us. You and I were pretty similar. I had 30-20.
Yeah.
And you had, what did you have?
31-24, something like that. Close game.
Yeah, 31-24. So I think, a 7 to 10 point victory, I think. Obviously, I said 10, so that's 2 scores. But CXM says 41-24 Canes. D, let's talk about Malachi Tony a little bit because it's actually been now. We did hour one. We didn't really get into him that much, and now we're on hour two. And I think when we talk about players that we're most excited to see, for me personally, because I know he's going to have a big role in this offense, that's a guy that we've seen it so much from spring practice to now, the early part of this, not even the season, but throughout really all of camp. I just think that this is a moment that he's been waiting for a long time, reclassified, remember? So people forget this guy did not reclassify until late September last year. So at this point last year, we're not expecting Malachi Tony to be playing in this game, right? So to me, it's a guy from a mental standpoint that this is not going to be too big of a moment for him.
I hate relying on true freshmen in games like this. I've said this before. I said it all camp, and you guys have heard me say it. Maybe I'm going to look like an idiot for saying it. This is a player that makes me sleep comfortable at night in terms of you worry about things going wrong, things you don't know how they're going to turn out. This is a guy who is going to work hard like no one else. He's going to study the game like no one else. He's going to be mentally prepared like no one else, even as a 17-year-old freshman. When the ball's in the air, I think the guy's going to catch it, man. I think Carson Beck thinks that he's going to catch it. The trust level between Beck and Tony is out of this world. It's for a reason. So I think Daniels, Tony, Marion, Trader, Tony Johnson's going to have a role in this game. Who knows who else steps up? A Josh Moore, a Chance Robinson. All it takes is one big splash play to make an impact. You're going to see a lot of receivers here. Yeah, shout out to Gio. He's headed to the stadium. Yeah, he was out here grubbing with his wife. Shout out to Gio, man. The guy looks like $1 million. I thought he was like my age. The guy's like 52. He's already retired.
Wow.
But yeah, man, I know he enjoyed it out here. A lot of time about Lofton being the key to victory from Rob Dukes. I think Notre Dame's good. One thing I'll say, Notre Dame's got a lot of good stuff. Notre Dame's a good team. They're not Florida. Notre Dame has linebackers that can run and cover and hit. And I think they do have linebackers that can stay with Lofton more than the average team. It's a major mismatch against most teams. This is a faster Notre Dame linebacking core. Marcus Freeman, he was a linebacker himself, guy that can run a little bit. So he kind of gets guys that fit what he likes. Al Golden did a good job recruiting that position. But I still think Lofton's a mismatch. And I think Lofton's really a mismatch, and I don't know if we're going to see it, is when you get him in the backfield and do those kind of things, because he can block, he can run routes, he can catch the ball. He can do a lot of things. I think the most important thing with Lofton is a big game player. You look at, he was on the field last year in all our big games, but beyond that, high school, when he played Chaminade, when they played Central, and they came across the country, this guy was scoring 5 touchdowns in those games, dominating. So he's a big game player, big moment player. I think he's someone that you just feel good about where they are at mentally, like Malachi Tony, like Armando Blunt, like Bain, like Carson Beck, guys that I feel good about them being in the right frame of mind mentally to do what they need to do. It's going to be a crazy environment. It is going to be loud. If you guys weren't here in
potentially rainy, as we see here.
The Doppler radar.
The radar's coming in strong, everyone. Here we go.
Hunter H is saying Devontae Smith's locking up Malachi Tony. Look, if Devontae Smith was that good to be in the pros, and not the guy that's on the Eagles, the nickelback for the Notre Dame. Good player. I'm not saying he's definitely not a scrub. I mean, Notre Dame, no, they don't play scrubs. They're a real team. But we'll see what he's got. I feel confident Malachi Tony winning that matchup. I know this guy's a senior. Malachi Tony is 17 years old. But talent-wise, we'll see what it looks like. I feel very good about my guy Malachi Tony, number 10. When he catches that first pass, you're going to see there's going to be one after another after another. I think he's going to have a huge, huge day. Some guys are just built different. They call him Baby Jesus. We'll see what the nickname's all about.
Camden Burton asking us who will be our MVPs on both sides of the ball today. I think offensively, I think we can try to get cute by picking skill position guys, D, but if Miami wins this game, Carson Beck had a steady performance and did what was asked of him, and I think that will be enough to kind of call him player of the game. Defensively, Ruben Bain.
Yeah.
Ruben Bain.
I'm the same too, man. I know we should be disagreeing, but 11-4. Those are our best guys. Those are the guys we need to step up. Those are our leaders. Those are the guys with a lot to prove. Those are the guys that are trying to be top 10 picks, shaking Roger Goodell's hand. Ruben Bain, Carson Beck. This is the moment. Everybody's watching. I think, look, again, I watch everybody across the country. Carson Beck plays like he's capable of playing. Ruben Bain plays like he's capable of playing. They'll be talking about both those guys as two of the best players in America on Monday. Okay, they are there. They're there with all these other guys they're talking about talent-wise. Now it's about getting it done. We'll see if they can do it, but I got a lot of confidence in what those guys can do.
Let me tell you, man, the broccoli.
I know.
I got the sautéed broccoli, delicious. I got the candied yams here, delicious. Everything is hitting different over here at the Licking, man. Steve Jones says Brian Norcross got nothing. That's a second Brian Norcross reference in the last three weeks here on the show.
Canes Cat said he's the highest paid guy on Fox. I don't believe that.
Well, Canes Cat sent me this radar. To
He's a weather enthusiast.
I'm actually really interested in where that comes from.
Good comment from T Loves. Second pick on defense would be Mohamed Touré. Class of 2019. He's going to be probably the oldest player on the field now that Cam McCormick's out. He's got a chance, I think, to really make an impact. Big, fast, strong, tough. He knows how to miss defense. He had a great camp. I didn't see any signs of knee injury. I mean, he looked to me fast, just like he did against us in the Pinstripe Bowl. He can rush the passer. He can do a lot. And this leads to the next question from Bucks Canes. I think I missed it. Who's number one jersey on offense and defense? Number one on offense, JoJo Trader. Number one on defense, the guy we just talked about, Mohamed Touré.
Let's go back to that question real quick from Freak Factor Cards. He asked if we think Heatherman is going to rotate as much as Guidry. I think he will, especially early in the season. He's been pretty open about it. He says that there's going to be not only a lot of rotation going on up front, but on the back end, because I think when we talk about defensive lines, we've been so excited to see what are those packages going to look like on third down. So we talk a lot about that, but there's going to be a lot of mixing and matching on the back end as well.
Yeah, not because we don't have players. I think we just have too many, and in a good way. Meaning, like, we have 4 or 5 corners that you feel really, really good about, right? So I think those guys are going to play. I think safety's gotten a lot deeper. These are guys you want to play and you want to be fresh. It's hot out there. Depth is going to be a difference maker. Defensive line, you're always trying to rotate, so that's nothing new. Linebacker, I think you have more depth than you've had in the past. Just looking at, let's assume, and I don't know this to be the case, but let's assume that Mo Touré and Wesley Bassane start, right? Your most experienced, productive guys. Feel great about those two. Kamal Bonner was one of the top linebackers, if not the top player on NC State's defense by the end of last year. That's what people say at NC State when he left. They said, we just lost our best young defensive player. So that's an ACC caliber player on a bowl team that was playing very well. He's a backup. Jalen Alderman, we haven't even talked about. He started an ACC championship game at linebacker on a pretty good defense for Louisville. He's out there. Chase Smith, who I think is going to play a big role, is a fourth-year player, gotten really big, strong, athletic. I think fifth-year player, actually. He'll be out there. Popo Aguirre, who was a big factor last year's defense, somebody highly rated player who played a lot. He's in the mix. So this linebacking group is deep. They got different types of bodies. Bobby Pruitt probably more of us on the safety side of things lately, but someone who's really a versatile guy who will fit in. We just have more depth, so it's very possible that we rotate even more, not because we want to rotate more for fun. It's because we just might just better players on both sides of the ball.
Shout out to everyone on with us here. We got over 600 on the stream. Hit that like, subscribe to the channel. We're live from the Licking. Grizz says Corey Heatherman versus Chris Ash is interesting. 2 aggressive guys going at it. And yeah, that's an interesting one. Ash, who hasn't called a defense since 2020. So from what I've heard, the research, the background research there has been tough going back to, really when he was at Texas calling the defense there. A lot of reference points there, but at the same time, understanding it's a Marcus Freeman defense. Al Golden did a phenomenal job over there, and that he's back in the NFL now. But yes, I think Ash that's going to be an interesting dynamic here. Understanding it's his first game back calling a defense in a while.
100%. Yeah, we talked about new defensive coordinators. There's 2 different types, right? Miami's defensive coordinator got fired, so he didn't do a good job. So we paid a lot of money for someone we think is doing a better job. Notre Dame, what do you want to talk about Al Golden? He did a great job for him. He got hired by the Bengals because he did a great job for him. He got more money because he was doing a good job. So now they got to hire someone else, less touted, quite frankly. It was not Chris Ash did not have the whole world knocking down his door. Corey Heatherman was a young guy on their way up. Chris Ash, more of a veteran, hold the fort kind of guy. So, yes, both teams had new defensive coordinators, but different reasons, right? Different stories, different contexts. And I think that's something to watch because only one way to go up for Coach Heatherman, whereas with Notre Dame, there's a lot of room to go down. Shout out to Cat 5 says the chicken rolls are so good there. I saw Johnny Lagoon having a chicken roll. A few guys were having a chicken roll.
Yeah, and dude, incredible with the licking sauce, man.
Eric's a voice saying, what did he say?
He's asking
how's golf with Brent?
Well, I don't know. I played golf with Kevin Clark the other day.
How was that? He
was
he
good.
was talking a lot of smack. I don't know. Was he the top dog out there?
No, I wouldn't say that. He was using rental clubs though, so I'm not gonna be too hard on him. I played all right. I shot an 82 at Billmore. All right, not bad. I didn't play with Brent though. Maybe he thought I was playing with Brett McMurphy.
Oh,
I don't know. We were talking about golf there, but no,
he's out of town.
Yeah. Let's see. Mark says 42-31 Canes, class of 1987. Man, that would be a high scoring one. I don't see it getting up to that. I think my prediction of 30-20 might be a little high after what I saw yesterday. I might even drop that a little bit to like 24-14. I don't know.
Yeah, if they score 31, I'd be shocked. CJ Carr put him up for Heisman if he scores 31.
So we're getting more weather questions here. Jimmy Page is asking us, and it's funny because we're a fan-driven show. So for a couple weeks now, we've been getting questions.
Doppler radar. I'm looking at it.
Let's see. So this is the good thing about this is not a prediction. This is the actual updated one. This is not looking good. Let me bring this up on the screen, everybody. This is not looking good right now, but we are still 5.5 hours or 4.5 hours.
Just
away
ordered
from
the fried lobster with fries and a wing sampler. Carter ordered lemon pepper wings and fries with a side of yams. About to go down.
Dude, the yams are out of control. Out of control. Yeah, this is I can't say it's looking too good right now. So this is, you see down here the time, it says 1:50, and you can see it's moving on in here. It's moving on in here. So this is not, it's coming from the Everglades there, coming from the west.
So Pete, man, you got a new job here. Yeah, remember to like and subscribe to the show. Grizz, really glad we have no fingernail painting stuffed animal guys like Ryan Williams on the squad. Ryan Williams wanting.
I'll take Ryan Williams right now, man.
He could dress and drag as long as he's catching the ball like he's been catching it. I know he had a bad game yesterday, but I don't think it was his fault.
PJ Shaw asking us, I guess, if we've talked about FSU at all. So again, guys, this is hour 2. We've if you missed hour 1 and you want to get caught up, we have that video up. We've been here live at the Licking since noon, and we talked about them in hour 1. We can talk about them again here, D. Let's get back into them a little bit. I think I'll probably give FSU more credit than D will. I thought that was impressive, man. They could have very easily gone out there, and I understand this is not the same Alabama team. They had them in Tallahassee, but they could have their season could have been derailed week 1 badly if it went the way that I think a lot of us thought it was going to go. So for them to not only win the game, but like legitimately look decent along the way. Now, am I sitting here saying they're going to beat Miami this year based off of that performance? No, I'm not. I just think that even when they hired Malzahn, we both said they're going to be a tougher out than, like we've said that all season. I think I had them at 8 wins before the year. I don't know that I'm changing that opinion based off yesterday.
No, I think, like you said, Pete, they could have gone off the rails if it went sideways yesterday. It would have been a terrible start. So they got exactly what they needed to kind of get that juice. That's all right. Listen, they're going to go 7-5 and keep Norvell. And we're to keep on rolling and playing in these games, top 10 primetime games. And we'll see them when we see them. I like our matchup to that. They can't throw on us. So I like that, our matchup. I think, to me, it was yesterday, like FSU, yes, it was about FSU, but it was also really about Alabama. And
the explosive plays they gave up were very uncharacteristic. Well, let me take that away because that was always one of Saban's issues, giving up the explosive plays.
Well, Saban had trouble with Malzahn back in the day,
yeah.
So maybe some of that's left over. But I didn't think they didn't.
I just didn't see the athletes, man. I didn't see the same athletes getting side to side defensively. You can talk about the trenches, but like there were some, like Florida State was running by them. I mean, there were guys who were wide open, so there was maybe some miscommunications. Like Lord knows we saw that last year plenty of times.
Yeah.
But even then, man, I just didn't see the same sort of guys out there.
I didn't see the effort, Pete. You talk about, you said it, sideline to sideline. I think they had guys that can run, maybe not as good as what they had. Last year they had Jihad Campbell, who was unreal. I don't think they have guys like that necessarily, but I think they were also just running slow. There's a lot of clips on Twitter, and you felt it watching the game live, where guys just were not running to the football. And with Nick Saban, well, listen, I hate on Saban all the time. He was able to cheat restricted with the NCAA and his friend Emmert being the head of the NCAA. So he had a lot of advantages from a cheating standpoint. But the guy was a good coach, obviously, and he was a great coach on defense. And his players played at a certain level defensively from an effort standpoint, from an intensity standpoint, from a physicality standpoint that I think has been reduced. So it is the athletes, but I think even more than that, they're not playing as fast because I don't know if it's an emphasis in practice, but when I watched tape of DeBoer's teams, Kalen DeBoer's teams, they were not exactly tearing it up on defense. And now we have tape of Alabama looking a lot like Washington, but with a worse offense. It all Michael Penix.
Martin Dubé makes a good point here. He says you don't see the same athletes at Bama because Mario is keeping them home.
I love it. They're on the blood. I promise you this. Listen. Let's name some names. Obviously, I always talk about Armando Blunt. Ruben Bain, Keem Messidor, Mo Touré. These guys are not going to be walking to the football. I can promise you that right now. However it goes tonight, you're not going to see any highlights on Twitter of Ruben Bain, Armando Blunt, Messidor, Touré, and these are just some names. There's more than this. I'm just thinking of guys like that just play so hard. Those guys are not going to be Marquise Lightfoot. Those guys are going to be flying to the football, I promise you. So don't expect to see some of this lollygagging that you saw from Alabama last night.
Freak Factor Car says, D, good call on Clemson. Cade does not look like a first-rounder.
I think these mock drafts have gone crazy. And look, I remember when Brett Kyle was a first-rounder, and I was like, all right, he is a first-rounder. The mock drafts say it. So I'm guilty of this myself. But here's what I'll say. You cannot tell me that Cade Klubnik and Lenore Sellers are equivalent, in my opinion. But you tell me why I'm wrong. I see Cade Klubnik like a CFL kind of guy, a backup quarterback in the NFL, maybe a Colt McCoy. Whereas a guy like Lenore Sellers, who we're going to see here in about an hour, that's a real dude. That's a problem maker. That's a big, physical, legitimate player. I don't see that with a Cade Klubnik, personally. Julian Sane, good, potentially a good college quarterback. He can connect the dots. He has good players around him. But I don't see a superstar talent. Sellers, we talked about. Arch Manning, I'm more bullish on him than most think he'll get there. Lagway, for sure. Carson Beck is much closer to those guys that I just said as far as they got the tools versus the other guys who are more, I think, Johnny College kind of guys. Carson Beck is 6'4". I interviewed him. Big dude, big legs. He's strong hands, great arm, super quick release, can run, former baseball player, committed to Florida, twitchy. He's just more talented than a Cade Klubnik. And he's got a better offensive line than a Cade Klubnik, despite the all-ACC voters having like 3 Clemson guys on the offensive line. I think we saw that was kind of BS. Clemson's got good players. They're a great culture. They're a great team. They won the ACC last year with their B game. So they're the top dogs. But what I said in the summer is what I'll say now. I don't think that they're a physically impressive team. Number 11, Woods, he'll be a first rounder. He's very good against the pass. Parker, number 3, another good pass rusher. I don't see the overwhelming size up front. I don't see the depth up front. And I just don't see the physicality on the roster. They can't run the ball at all. I mean, they ran for 30 yards against LSU. So LSU is not prime LSU. Blake Baker completely dominated that run game, which 1 year ago, LSU was not doing that. So I think Clemson's run game with Phil Maffa off to the league, and they weren't that good to begin with. Very poor. The receivers are great, but they couldn't get the ball because they were getting too much pressure. And I just think we got some matchup advantages over them if we get to that point in the ACC championship. Not saying they're bad. They're not. But I'm used to watching for 20 years. You watch Miami on one day, and you see Clemson, and you see, oh, this is great. Taylene, unbelievable. Thank you. Oh, Jones, bring him in. Bring him in. Bring him in. Get the mic set up, Pete. So
who's here?
I think we might have a special guest. So get the mic set up here. Got some special guests. It's the Lickin', man. You don't know who's going to roll through at the Lickin'. We're in the VIP, so got a VIP coming on soon.
You want to just do it? I'll hop off and you.
Yeah, why don't you do that?
I think that's
let's
easier.
do that.
Yeah,
let's do that. What's going on?
How
How you doing? Good, Doctor, good to see you. Clyde, take a seat. Hello. How are you doing? My name's Danny. Nice to meet you, Tracy. Go ahead, Clyde, take a seat. So we are here with Dr. Clyde Jones, national champion, Canes legend, still in tip-top shape. Look like you could suit up right here and play ball.
Yeah.
How are we feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, you've been in town for a minute, right? Where are you coming from?
Port St. Lucie.
Port St. Lucie.
Yeah. So we've been up there. I'm with the Cleveland Clinic right now.
Mm-hmm.
We've been up there for about a year and a half now, moving back from Cleveland. I was in Cleveland, Ohio for a little bit. And so now back in town.
Get a little more sun down here.
Oh, yeah. I was tired of the snow.
Any golf, anything like that? Any fishing? Or you just, I know you're working hard, but.
I got nice clubs and a golf cart, but I don't golf.
There we go. So Dr. Jones, for those who are younger, maybe don't remember you are a lineman on some of these great Miami teams in the trenches, doing your thing.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about not just your playing career, but kind of what transpired after your playing career. Because let's be real, there's a lot of comments. We saw, you see the comments that Notre Dame made about Miami's players?
Yes.
So, I mean,
Obviously,
there's a perception out there, at least amongst a certain people, that Miami is a certain way. Those of us who are down here know that not only have we had some of the best football players in America, we've had some of the finest individuals, professionals, students come through this program.
That's right.
By the way, not just now, but at the same time when they were saying that it was convicts versus Catholics, it was true then too.
That's right.
So, just talk about a little bit about your journey to where you are now as a doctor in the Cleveland Clinic from the University of Miami.
Well, I think first of all, you really have to look at what a student athlete means. There's a lot that goes into it, with practice, weight training, conditioning. You still have to do study table, and you still have to maintain a certain GPA as well. What many people don't realize is the effort that a student athlete has to put in on a daily basis. We're held to a higher standard because of that, and which I think makes it a bit more difficult than a regular student. So it's not like we have different curriculums or a different level of work or a different amount of work. So a student athlete has to go a bit further to maintain a certain same GPA as a regular student. So even being a student athlete, that doesn't take you away from the standards of the university as well. So you still have to adhere to that. So I think it's tougher. For me, I basically had to find the time. With all that being said, taking classes and finding time for football, by the time you got home, it was 10 o'clock at night, and you had to get up at 7:30 in the morning and do it again. So it's really digging deep and finding that the inner self, so to speak, and realizing your goal and what was at the end of your career, of your college career. So you have to make sure, with NIL and NFL and all these dollars being thrown around right now, I think the focus is lost right now on what the main goal is, and that's to get an education. So we graduated, although many of us came from inner cities, really, really tough neighborhoods. Once we got to the University of Miami, we were able to get into a structured program where, we were watched. We had people in class making sure we showed up with lists, but they were hidden. We didn't know who they were. They hired regular students to sit in the classroom and watch us.
The spies.
So, it was making sure you were being responsible and accountable for it. So for me, I made sure I held on to those things, and I was able to get my degree and move on to medical school years later after doing a few other things in life, playing in the NFL. I learned all that I needed to learn in life from the University of Miami. The discipline, teamwork, or working closely with others, perseverance, working through hard times, tough times. And I learned all that playing football.
And what was it like being in that? Because everyone's watching you. I mean, you were on like we talk about the Hurricanes. That's your era. You were the show in not just in Miami, but in the country. They make movies about it, right? So
that's right.
Being in it, living in it, being in that bubble, I mean, you're a college kid. You're worried about college kid things too, on top of getting your business done. What was it like being in that spotlight where it's like, man, not only am I putting on for my family and doing this thing here in school, I got the whole country watching our moves.
Right. It was different. You know, it was different because I came in from high school. I'm an 18-year-old kid, and I had instant star status. Right. So you're right. You're getting tugged and pulled by the media, professionally, academically, personally. You know, you're being pulled in different directions. So if you don't have a good group of teammates, number one, to keep you focused and to keep your mind settled on your goals, and also a good coaching staff as well. I didn't have brothers. You know, I grew up with sisters. So I was pretty much, you know, on my own from that standpoint. So when I got to Miami, and even in high school playing football, those were my brothers, you know, something I never had. So I really depended on those guys to motivate me, to keep me focused, to keep me going in the right direction. And we all lifted each other up. And I think that's what made the University of Miami so special, that we're still doing that today. If someone's in trouble, someone's in need, we rally around that person. So it's carried over into real life. And when I look back on it, I still can't believe I was a part of that.
I saw you yesterday at the VIP in the Hard Rock, you know, living good. A lot of alumni there, guys getting together, kind of talking about old times. It was like people never left each other, right? When you see that environment. Being, like you mentioned, the criticism from outside, did that bring you guys closer together? Like, not because it's not just like, hey, we're brothers, we're on the team. It's like, hey, it's kind of us against the world because they're saying this about us here, they're saying this about us here, they're talking about us. Did that make you guys kind of even tighter because the outside world was really critical of the Hurricanes? Or some people loved it, but some people were vocal against you guys.
I think one of the things you learn in athletics is to block out the noise. So it's pretty much the same now. You know, when we hear Notre Dame fans or fans from, you know, other universities really talking bad about the student athletes and the things going on in Miami, we understand what happens on the inside. We understand what it takes to become successful. So it's kind of blocking out the noise, keeping your eye on the prize, so to speak, keeping your eyes on your goals, staying strong with each other. So we found that out later on in life to really take the same approach, right? So it's almost expected when you're playing at the University of Miami to not be liked, you know, to not be the favorite in the room, so to speak. So when student athletes come to the University of Miami, they have to understand that you know, you won't be the most well-liked person in the room because of the success that was built over a period of time, right? So we look at you know, Tom Brady and how successful he was, and everyone hated him.
Yeah, until he retired, then everybody loves him again. But when he's playing, they don't love him.
Yeah, they don't love him because he beat everyone. And we had that mentality, right? If you don't like us, beat us. It's just that simple, right? And we knew, and we had so much confidence. We knew going into a game that you already lost the game, especially if you played us in the Orange Bowl, where we won 58 straight, I believe was the record, 58 straight games at home. You know, when you came to the Orange Bowl, it was an automatic loss. I could just imagine how that felt being in the other locker room, knowing you're going to lose the game before you even ran out.
How do you feel running out of that smoke?
Oh gosh, it was really a once in a lifetime experience. Just feeling the energy, the roar of the crowd. You know, I was telling my girlfriend the other night that I felt like I was actually suiting up and getting ready to play. And I kind of went through everything with her about what an athlete feels right now, how you're visualizing the night before, how sometimes you can't even sleep, right? Just thinking about your opponent and thinking about the things you have to do. So, you know, putting all those things in place, I think really keeps you focused. And I'm looking forward to seeing the team tonight to see what they look like, see if we're better on defense. We have to stop the run and really be aggressive on offense and get up on them early. But, I think once we do that, with them having a younger quarterback, they're going to lean on their running game. And they have the best running back in America. So we have to make sure we put a cap on that.
I want to ask you, just football-wise, you're a guy about the trenches, right? Look at Alabama last year. Did you see the Alabama game at all?
Oh, gosh, yes.
Didn't look very recognizable as far as stopping the run and running the football, right? Both of those aspects they've reduced. We talk about the passing game and all that. NFL, I know you have quarterbacks are probably more on a pedestal, but certainly in college, it feels to me, and you tell me because you were in ththose trenches, that running the ball, stopping the run, that is still the name of the game in college football.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The game is won and lost up front. So it's really being technically sound, aggressive, knowing your assignments, really being tough and physical. I was telling someone recently, one of the toughest things you could ever do is move a 300-pound man against his will, right? But once you have that mentality that you can move someone against their will, I think the offensive line takes on that entire mentality, because the offensive line is probably the only group on the field that operates as one, right? So if one part breaks down, everything breaks down. So moving guys out of there, creating holes, creating running lanes, I think will really help our run game tonight, but also being very aggressive on the defensive side, getting upfield, staying in your gaps, controlling the blockers so the linebackers can operate. So I think that's really something we have to do tonight. You
talked about something that I've heard linemen talk about, which is just moving someone against their will, just that raw feeling. You're someone who makes their money off their brain. Your brain is the moneymaker, right? As you sit here today.
Right.
But just that feeling of just raw animal, just moving somebody, like just raw human kind of feeling. What's it like to someone who hasn't experienced that at the high level? You speaking as an intellectual person.
Right. Well, to be honest, I said that's probably the only time, and excuse me for saying this, that you can beat someone up, for 60 minutes and not get arrested for it. So it's really having, on the offensive line, it's really having a defensive lineman mindset that you're going to attack, that you're going to punish someone, that you're going to be physical, aggressive. Once you have that mindset, keep your quarterback clean. That's your main priority. Once you have that as an offensive line, and I think they do, the offensive line has really come a long ways in the past few years. So I'm looking forward to seeing a run game get going, and if they still have that mentality.
I was going to ask you about that, because you've seen, obviously, you guys were championship caliber on the offensive line. Then you've seen it kind of decline a little bit, and now finally it seems like it's on the up. Are you seeing that transition, and what are you seeing as far as where we were and now where we're at on the offensive line?
Oh yeah, absolutely. When you look at some of the past lines that we've had, we were more finesse, so to speak. But I think now we have beef. We have they're a bit heavier, they're a bit more athletic. So I would like to see us now turn the corner and start, I call it moving furniture, right? So now it's time to move furniture, right? Getting on the outside, pulling some of those big linemen, I like to call them road graders, getting them out on the corners. That's what I like to do, on sweeps and things like that, just getting out in space and running after someone. So, once you have that mentality to basically seek and destroy, and again, it's a defensive mentality to attack. And I think our offensive line has that.
Let me ask you, this game tonight, we know it's a big game. It's night, prime time. I heard the guest list. Former players. You're out there. We've seen a lot of former players last night. There's going to be a lot of former players, but I heard even bigger, like we're talking celebrities. It's going to be a whole thing. And half the guest list I'm hearing comes out, it's going to be a show. Mm-hmm. You played in games like that, right? You were the show for many years. I know your process has got to be the same, right? As a player, you got to do things the same to execute and not get caught up in the big game stuff. But in reality, when it's that kind of big game and everybody's watching, you got family that probably you haven't even talked to and forever watching it, and it's just one of those big games that everybody's watching across the country. Is it different? I know you're trying to keep it the same, but how is it different?
Yeah, it's totally different. And when you talk to some of the players, they'll say, "Oh, it's just another game." I heard Carson Beck say that when they interviewed him recently. "Oh, well, it's just another game. I played in big games before," but he hasn't played at the University of Miami, right? So he doesn't understand the history. You know, back when Catholics versus convicts started, it was seen as something that was kind of like a game day shot at us, you know, but it really hit harder than that, because many of us did struggle with crime growing up, and many of us did struggle in the inner city and coming out of that, and football was our only way out. But also understanding that we made it, right? So we made it to that level. We also made it out, and we also graduated as well. So I think it really hit at the core of who we were. And I think that's why this rivalry has become something larger than just like an Ohio State or Michigan, right? Which really goes back 150 years. You know, this is a different type of rivalry because of that, right? So we want to show people that we are educated, we do graduate, right? And we will kick your butt and come after you on game day. So everyone's got to understand that.
Oof, you got me fired up. I don't want to hold you too long, so I know you got to eat. Let me ask you tonight. I don't know if you're big on predictions or what, but what are you seeing, or what do you hope to see? What are you thinking tonight with Miami and Notre Dame? How do you see this thing playing out?
I think we open up on them early. We get them down. I think we'll probably get to a final score of 24-10 Miami. Again, they have a great run game. I don't know where we are right now from the run standpoint, being we were pretty bad last year. Get the young kid for Notre Dame, stop him on first down, and get the kid to throw the ball. Make him win it with his arm. Okay, so take the run game out of it. He's a redshirt freshman.
Yep.
Throw some different coverages at him and make him win the game with his arm. I think once we do that, we'll get him in trouble.
24-10. Dr. Jones, man, appreciate you joining us.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Enjoy your time here at the Lick, and enjoy some food, and I'll see you out there, man.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate you.
Go Canes.
All right, let's go.
Let's go. Flashy, got the rings on too. Don't forget. There it is, baby.
Right here.
There's the rings.
Right
there it is, baby.
Okay.
Let them know. Let them know.
Yes.
Dr. Jones, appreciate you.
All right, thank you.
All right, man. That was awesome, man. That was great. That was great.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's go. So, all right, guys. What we're doing, we got special guests coming through. We're at the Lickin'. Got national champions, nationally renowned doctors rolling through. That's what happens here. Hour 2 of CanesInSight live at the Lickin'. Thank you guys again.
Okay.
Enjoy the rest of the day. Go Canes.
All right, we're back here.
I'm fired up, man.
You gonna ask us something? You gonna say something? No? Okay.
How you doing?
I just want to give away.
It's all good, man. Shout out to the staff at the Lick.
Shout out. What's your name?
Chef Bridget.
Chef Bridget.
Chef Bridget. Listen,
Chef Bridget. Oh my
you're
goodness,
killing
this
it right
food is
now.
unbelievable.
I know you're working hard. This packed house. Oh, I didn't get the fish tacos. I had the broccoli. Oh yeah. You remember from last time? Oh yeah.
The fish tacos are
Please.
fire. The fish tacos are
Chef
fire.
Bridget. You're taking a break. I didn't want to make you work. Thank you, Chef Bridget. Look at
man.
this, man.
Unbelievable.
Pete, I got to say, this is the best thing. Of all the things you've done for this show, being a co-host, you actually were the only host of the CanesInSight podcast for many years. I think bringing this Lickin' partnership to this is the best thing ever. But, man, that was awesome. Dr. Clyde Jones, I mean, it was. He's been down here partying, doing his thing, getting ready for the game. But it's like, it's so funny when you hear all this stuff coming from Notre Dame Twitter and all this stuff, and you see the reality of the situation versus kind of the narrative. That's cool to see, and he got me fired up, man. He was ready to hit somebody.
Yeah,
he looked like he could still do it.
Listen, when I hopped off the stream, we were at like 600, 700, and now we're at almost 1,100. So he was way more interesting than I was. We got the Notre Dame fans hopping in here. Listen, we take all of the likes and subscribes. You know, so if you're on here, we'll take the view. Thank you to the Notre Dame fans who have been watching us, but it's on tonight, man. It's on, and man, we still got 5 hours till game time. Sheesh. I mean, look, I'm still. I said on the beginning part of the second hour, D, that I was calm, and I still feel calm, but I think it might. Now I'm understanding why we're isolated in this recording room, and then as soon as we walk out there in this next, when we take another break here in a bit, I think that energy would just be through the roof.
I got to say, I mean,
he's eating, so I'll try to say a few more words. So let me go through this. Diagon says D-Money's super humble. As a lawyer, he's definitely an intellectual as well.
I use all my brain power trying to think about what songs to pick on the Hype podcast. You know, we had the Ghetto Boys, we had the Luis Miguel, we had some Elvis, had some Ray Charles / Hank Williams Sr. So we're trying to keep it across the country, you know.
Orange and Green Blood says, "What's good, family?" And I've been seeing a lot of you guys, you know, across the country. If you aren't local here or weren't able to make the trip, been seeing a lot of pictures of people watching this pregame show. This is really a new thing. I mean, we're talking a lot about the Licking partnership, and that's why we are here. But this pregame show has been a lot of fun, D. I'm glad we've been able to do it hanging out with you guys. And honestly, I think it makes time go a little faster.
Exactly.
Because if not, I'm just at home probably doing things I shouldn't be doing, you know, trying to make time go faster. And, you know, this is way better hanging out with the fans here. See, West End Zone has the opposite feeling of me. He says, Pete, I've been sick to my stomach all day. Feels like I'm about to play in a game. I will say I was texting West End Zone a couple weeks ago, and he was telling me what a big fan he is of Malzahn's offense. So West End Zone was the one who told me it was like wing T in the spread, or in the shotgun, excuse me. So that was interesting. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts, West End Zone. Charles Dawson said, so why is Love called the best running back in the country? Did Paul or Mel say so? I mean,
I think scouts got him there.
Yeah, he's when you talk about the NFL, I think with running backs, the NFL projection, because it's such a position of, you know, there's so many good ones that you can get later in the round. The guys who are projected first-round picks are normally looked at an echelon above, and, you know, there's a variety of factors that puts them in that category. But Love, he really, like, you can't categorize him as one sort of back. He can kind of do it all.
Yeah, man, no, Love, he's powerful. I think Love's legit. But look, he's not Superman. He's not Adrian Peterson. He's not O.J. Simpson. He's not Jim Brown, you know. So he's not unstoppable. Kevin Andino saying, watching hour 2 while watching Clash at Paris. Man, I'm jealous. We got to get that on these screens right here. That crowd looks live over there in Paris for WWE. I never heard a louder crowd. I'll be watching that. After we win the game, I might go to Las Rosas, Mike Ryan's bar down there in Alapata. Post-game celebration. First, I'll pick up some food from the Lickin' on the way home. Hit up Las Rosas, then maybe I'll watch some Clash of Paris at the house eating.
Comment from a Notre Dame fan, and I think it's a valid point that he makes here that I would like to address. He says 2017 was a different story. You were undefeated going into the game, and it sold out fast. You just sold out this game yesterday. I think with that one, Jack, I don't know that it's the hype around it has been any different. I just think that people probably found out that the game was this weekend in Miami, quite frankly. And I said this from the start. A lot of people were kind of waiting to see if ticket prices would maybe fluctuate or something would happen. And at the end of the day, they just bit the bullet, and you see the sellout. I can tell you that the buzz is.
Yeah, they were trying to jack up the prices. Not jack up the prices, but like they were trying to like. There's financial reasons for the way these tickets move. This game could have been sold out way earlier, from what I understand. So I would, if he thinks it's 50-50, our guy Jack Sullivan, watch the show at 7:30, and let me know when that first sack happens from Ruben Bain, what it sounds like. So if it sounds 50-50, you know, we'll find out.
He has a question. He says, how does the potential rain affect the game for both teams? I think there's one quarterback who has a lot of experience and has probably dealt with weather, you know, more than one, but that's still, at the end of the day, only going to be a little part of this thing.
Yeah, I mean, both teams playing it. Miami's probably pretty used to playing in the rain, and we're in a subtropical climate. You know, it's not our first rodeo with some rainy football.
I do agree with this comment from Jack. He says, I think both teams are better than 2017 teams, like easily. Miami's team,
well, we'll see. That
team had a lot of talent, right? I think at the quarterback position, you could be better there if you're Miami, but there was a lot of NFL guys on that 2017 team.
Yeah,
not high draft picks, though.
And 2017 Notre Dame, I mean, you had Ian Book, who was the same age as Carr is now, maybe a little older, and he was an NFL player. Their offensive line had McGlinchey, who was a top 10 pick. Quentin Nelson, who was a top 10 pick. I'm not sure you have top 10. This is a great it's Notre Dame. They have a great offensive line. But I don't know if you have like elite top 10 offensive linemen like those guys. Maybe Jagasaw, but he's hurt. Maybe I'm wrong, but I would say those guys are probably it's hard to beat those guys in terms of Nelson's a Hall of Famer, Mike Lynch's top 10 pick at tackle. I think defensively probably better. Notre Dame's this year. They had a good running back that year, but Jeremiah Love is better. Their running game was really good that year. I mean, they were the favorite in that game. It's not like they came in here. I don't know what the spread was, but I think the spread was more than this spread. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting. I mean, truthfully, I just hope I want to see a playoff type game. Obviously, the Miami wins, but I want to walk out of there feeling like, man, that was like a playoff type game, and Miami belongs, and Miami's in that category.
Grizz asking if we're gonna have a post game show tonight. Yes, I will be going live after the game, so stay tuned for that. Cloud Feet says licking it. Yes, we are here at the Licking Miami Gardens, 17647 Northwest 27th Ave, right down the street from the stadium. So stop by here before you go and tailgate. I know a lot of people have been having a good time out there. Let's see. The weather is not looking.
Doppler radar.
The Doppler is Dopplering right now.
A lot of green and blue on that Doppler radar.
Yeah. Oh man,
Pete's pulling it up right now.
I'm gonna show it right now. Yeah, EJ's asking for it, I think. So I love it. This is great. It's great content.
We need to get like a weather woman.
Yeah, I can do that. I can go. I can see if I went to school with anyone in the news who's available. Hey, there you go. Derek Huck says the yams are insane. Pete wasn't lying. I mean, I'm telling you, those things were super duper legit, man.
Cat 5 says getting lit for 6 hours will make it a madhouse. People who aren't from Miami, when I did the Hype podcast and they made a joke that we got liquor in the Chief seats. We really do have liquor in the Chief seats. The other stadiums, you can only get liquor in like the club, if that. I mean, I'm pretty sure football, you can only get liquor in like a certain premium section if they even have liquor.
Well, remember a lot of these schools that have recently even been serving alcohol for the first time or beer. A lot of these SEC on-campus stadiums weren't serving beer, right? Because it was an on-campus rule. So they've outlawed a lot of that. They've kind of gone around those rules now, and most places have it. But yeah, you're talking about the hard liquor, yeah.
Hey, EJ, you know what? I've never heard this put this way, and this is the best way I've heard it put. Miami fans aren't kids. That's what the nation doesn't understand. That's it says it right there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's adults.
I never thought of that way, but
that's a new spin.
That's exactly right. I'm stealing that. That is exactly true. These guys got kids, they got mortgages, man. They're fired up. God, they were some grown ass kids.
Yeah.
That's true too. But we're grown, so we're gonna be a little crazier, a little louder, and it's gonna be a whole different vibe. Man.
Johnny Lagoon out there, in the main part of the restaurant now, he says it's been a bad weekend for first time QBs. Let's keep it rolling, man. And you see that weather, it does not look too good right now. So Wyatt Wallace asking expectations for Elijah Alston. I think he's talking about Elijah Lofton.
Yeah, Elijah Lofton. I think the expectation is he's going to be a matchup weapon, a nightmare. I think Notre Dame's actually well situated to cover him because they just have more guys that are like those fast linebackers, slow safeties kind of guys that are the type of guys you need to cover him. So I actually think Notre Dame's a good matchup. Like they're going to be harder to deal with for him. Bad matchup for him, let's say. But he's a bad matchup for anybody because of his versatility. So we'll see how that plays out. That's a key matchup. Alex Bauman's going to be out there playing tight end. You could see Luka Gilbert as well. Could see Owen Ruskovich as well. But yeah, I think Lofton and his versatility is going to play a huge role in this particular game. Pete, want to talk about a new partner that we are rolling out. And this is a cool one. So we got a lot of guys that watch these streams, guys and girls that watch these streams that are gamers, right? People like to play games. They do the Twitch thing. They are gamers. It'd be pretty nice if you could be making some extra money, some side money while gaming, literally doing nothing but playing games. And that is what Cash Kick does for you. Is a free to use platform, free to use, easy sign up, Google, Facebook. You download and play games, have fun, and have extra cash, get some extra cash while you are doing it. It sounds like you're like, oh, that sounds like some scam. It's too good to be true. 5 million people are doing this right now. This is a major company, one of the top companies in the country, fastest growing companies in the country. and it is totally legit. As you see right there, you earn money while you're online. User behavior. This is something people care about. How do people play games? There's valuable information there. Obviously, no privacy concerns, but just the gameplay. How do people play these games? What kind of games do people like to play? Sign up with Cash Kick. Get extra money for playing games. It is a real deal thing. This is not. It sounds too good to be true, but it is a rewards and loyalty program for playing these games. And 5 million people are already doing it. Join the party. Once you get your PayPal to $10, cash out. You can get it way higher than that. Just keep on getting that extra money on the side. Pretty sweet deal. We're excited to partner with Cash Kick, and it's this is like 2000. This is the 2020s in action, man. This is a modern world. You can play video games just like you do anyways, and instead of just spending money, you could actually make money with a respectable international proven platform in Cash Kick. So yeah, shout out to Cash Kick. I know the gamers in the chat are gonna like that one.
Jack has some good questions here. He says favorite Miami player prop: Beck over under 239.5 passing yards, over under 50.5 Fletcher rushing yards, CJ Daniels 40.5 receiving, JoJo Trader 41.5 over under. I wish if you could pick like between two players, I would say CJ Daniels is gonna have more yards.
Yeah, 40 seems low.
Yeah, I would say I like that CJ Daniels one. Fletcher could go over 50.
What's the Malachi Tony reception prop?
Yeah, that's a good question.
If you guys can find the Malachi Tony reception prop, that's going to have to be very high for me to say anything other than over.
Yeah, I think he's going to catch. I wonder what they would have it on. Yeah. Well, remember, we're in the Hard Rock's not going to have player prop bets, so Jack is probably in another state that has it for collegiate athletes. So, so we're up on an hour here on hour 2D. If you want to wrap things up here, and then we're gonna go back out to the main part of the licking. I know we just had another comment from Zach who said that he's gonna come over here and hang out before this weather, man. We obviously want everyone to be at this stadium for the game, but if the tailgate gets a little bit wet, then we're over here right down the street at the Licking Miami Gardens. So
I'm saying the best way to avoid the rain, we got this roof right here, man. You got the R&B playing. You got the 2017 game we're about to put on the South Carolina Virginia Tech game that's starting now. Got a packed house, all kinds of Canes fans, Canes players. I was chilling with the Wiley. Shout out to Kellen Wiley Sr. and his whole fam. You always see him in the comments. He was out here with the fan. Man, Grandpa looked like he was ready to play right now. So, yeah, shout out to the whole Wiley family. Appreciate you guys and your support. But it's awesome out there. I can't wait to go out there and interact with everybody. Then, boom, we'll come right back on here and do hour 3. But it's going to be a lot of fun, man. So appreciate everybody's support. Like and subscribe to this show. Over 1,300 on. I know not all you guys are subscribers. Very easy. Just subscribe to the show. Ask people in the comments. There is no content for the Canes like CanesInSight.com. We're doing it nonstop 24/7 like nobody else. Like and subscribe to the show. Go Canes.
Go Canes.
See you next hour.